Well, Be Happy is an innovative and safe social media platform that's free from toxic content and ads and never sells your data. For more, though, let's join by Mick Esba from Be Happy. Mick, great to have your company.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Tell us, how does Be Happy work?
Well, basically, I think, you've got the traditional social media, there's stuff out there that pretty much is free. What happens there is you're then sold to basically third parties or things like that. Where Be Happy is different is we don't have any of that, number one. Number two, we have a G-rated space. So our view is around content and toxic content is that basically we want to create a G-rated space. We see ourselves like a broadcaster. So operating like that under those rules where we use AI tools to curate that and real humans behind that to then manage it on scale, to be able to give an actual experience where, everybody can be involved. And, for me, calling you here from lockdown in Sydney, dealing from the pandemic, that's where the idea of this came from. March last year, of just talking to my sisters of there isn't an option of having non-toxic social media, and 90% of users agree that it's not good for them, but we still do it about nearly 3 hours a day, and with lockdown probably more.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there is such a need for this, and we hear it all the time. I mean, on the flip side, social media does play a positive role in a lot of ways as well, but you're right, it does have a negative impact on a lot of people, and a lot of people have come forward and said that social media impacts them in a negative light. So I definitely feel like there is a niche for this kind of market. Your platform also is completely ad-free and doesn't actually sell data to third parties. I mean, this is unheard of when it comes to social media. Tell us about how important that was for your brand and your business model.
100%. I think the whole idea where, where the product's free, the product's you, right? So, by having a subscription-based model where we can actually not have that, and we actually protect people's privacy and being able to have basically within the app, basically what I call, there's sort of two parts. There's a public voice and a private voice. So you've got instant messaging that I could send to you and we can share stuff. Where we have our public space is curated and G-rated. So if it doesn't meet our terms, it goes into your draft inbox and you can send it to the people you know directly. For us, it's freedom of speech isn't freedom of reach of that sort of stuff. And the importance of not having ads, to me, the big benefit of that is that ads is okay, right? But I think with some social media out there, which I won't specifically say, but we could guess, that use basically third parties. Now, people bid to manipulate you. It's not just ads. You're being manipulated. The feed that you're being given is manipulating you. And I think that's the new level that I think for me is a bridge too far.
Yeah, indeed. Just on that point, and we don't have to name anyone, but do you think that these big tech giants have got too much power at the moment?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think definitely there's a kind of concentration. What happens is you get this kind of focus of different areas within tech. So the internet was great and was diversified, and now we've sort of consolidated to these kind of quite, quasi-monopolistic kind of models. And I think that is part of the problem. But I think what it is that in big tech and Silicon Valley back in the day, in order to get money to raise for your business, you needed to prove the model, so you gave it away free. So then in order to then work out a business model, you then basically have to use your people as your product. So you monetize the people on your network. And I think that philosophy was something that was very innocently wandered into in the 90s, has now morphed into basically mass behavioral modification, which, to upsetting elections and all sorts of things, right? So as well as just simple things of making people sad and people not happy, because people engage more with things that evoke negative responses over positive ones. I think the University of New York just put out a report on this literally yesterday, saying that basically people will share more likely things that upset them than things that make them happy. So, it's really working at our sort of not towards our angels, but our sort of darker side to monetize that. And I think all of that is a bit of a problem.
Oh, Mick, I definitely think there is such a market for your app that you're bringing forward. It is a great idea, and it's great to see someone, I guess, paving the way in this space that is so different, that we haven't seen before, and to get rid of toxic content and negative content. It's a really fantastic idea. We do have to wrap things up, Mick, but where can people find, is it just on the App Store, or how do people get it?
Absolutely. We're launching later this year in hopefully September. We've got a Kickstarter campaign running now. Check us out at kickstarter.bhapi.io. That's bhapi.io. Check us out. Please get involved. I think it's time for all of us to stand up to toxic social media and say it's not acceptable, and we want alternatives.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mick. Definitely agree with you. Such a great idea. Thank you so much for coming on to Ticker to talk about it. We wish you all the best with the launch.
Thank you very much.